Michael Pluck, Administrator at Bethany Home, Brandon.
Arlen Burgraff, Maintenance, Brandon.
Melissa Stuhler, Front Desk, Bethany Meadows.
Lawrence Nordstrom, Sioux Falls, Pasadena.
Tyler Sullivan, Facility Director, Meadows.
Linda Jensen, Foundation Director. I'm based out of Sioux Falls, but I work for everybody.
Bruce Johnson, Business Office, everywhere.
Rich Brink, Maintenance, Meadows.
Macy Vanessa, HR recruiter, both places.
Rebecca again, housekeeping in Brandon home.
Yeah, Dale, Laundry, Brandon.
Oh, Jenny Clyde, CNA, here at Brandon.
Deb Over, Nursing, Brandon.
Donna?
Oh, Donna Paul, Sioux Falls, universal worker.
Sioux Falls. I'm Inga Beauchene, I'm housekeeping, Brandon.
Allison Kirby, CNA Med at Brandon.
Julie Larson, Maintenance, Brandon.
Linda Danielson, housekeeping, Meadows.
Laurie Meadows. Kathy Stoughton, Dicer.
Welcome, everybody. I'm gonna see if I can get some more snacks.
Awesome. I'll get started. Am I rolling now? Okay. Didn't even give me an action. All right. So every year I talk about emergency preparedness in our facilities. It's going to be even more prevalent this year. So last year our state surveyors came around and just wanted to make sure that we had one. Literally, I just showed it to them. They said, okay, you're good to go. Awesome. This year, they're really going to be diving in and looking at the meat of our emergency preparedness policies and procedures. And that also trickles down to all of you. So the things that they're going to ask you while they're here is, do you know where it is? And what's the overall purpose of your emergency preparedness policies and procedures? So in Brandon, where is our emergency preparedness plan located?
In the nursing station.
In the nursing stations.
All
Up
of
in the
them?
cupboards. Yep. Every single neighborhood. And then I also put a copy in all of the red totes as well, just in case we can't find them for some reason in the cupboards. Go straight to the red totes. For our Sioux Falls people, where are those located?
Nursing station.
Nursing stations. Very, very good. Okay. So the purpose of the emergency preparedness plan is obviously just to inform and prepare all of our Bethany employees of the steps needing to be taken in the event of an emergency. An emergency can be classified as a fire, missing resident, active shooter, a flu pandemic. What are some of the emergencies that we're going to be seeing coming up in the next couple of months?
Severe weather.
Severe weather. That is going to be a huge one, and that's actually the title of your quiz. It is the red quiz. So, follow along with that. So we're going to be talking about severe weather, but then a couple of other things that I think could be prevalent during these next couple of months. So it's always a good refresher to talk about how we notify people in the event of an emergency. So, how do we notify if there's an emergency? Let's say there's a fire within our facility. What do?
Call the fire
Pull the
department.
alarm.
Huh?
Call the fire department?
Well, that's good. What do we do before that?
Pull the alarm.
Pull the alarm.
Page.
Page. Thank you. So all those steps are great. The first thing that you want to do though is pull that fire alarm and then make sure everyone else in the building knows what's going on. So if it's a fire, you announce overhead, fire, Plum Creek, fire, Plum Creek, fire, Plum Creek.
Do we have any, paper or anything that, what buttons to push on the phone?
There's a page.
Some of us don't know how to use the phone.
Okay.
Here, so we don't know what to put to.
Do we still have those numbers listed? I think there's one in front of the phones on each nurse's station.
Yeah, but there's a page, well, on cotton, it says page and it's colored pink and that will page throughout the whole facility.
Okay, so I think that'd be good. It's a page on all the phones, but we can go through and put that button as pink. So when Deb gets back, I'll have her say what it is in Sioux Falls. It should just be a page button as well, but just hit page. So, another important thing there is when the event is over, the fire's been put out, you want to go over the overhead and say, fire, Plum Creek, all clear. Just give that all clear. So say that 3 times as well. Deb has more snacks.
Anybody want a snack, raise your hand.
Okay. Moving on, something that Deb and I just wanted to really stress in regards to emergency preparedness is letting us know when there's an emergency happening. So I think this past weekend, our boiler went out here in our facility, and it got super cold here. It was freezing. So, whenever that something happens and it's just super cold, that it shouldn't be cold, please give me a call, give Dan a call, give Rich a call, and we can come out and help you with that stuff. But it's important to notify us as administrators because there are certain times when we need to have an appropriate response, like reaching out to different community partners, reaching out to our state, to let them know our power's been out for a certain amount of time. Deb, do you have anything else you'd like to add for notifying administrators?
If you can't get a hold of the administrator, call the DON. She'll get a hold of the administrator.
Yeah.
And there's an emergency call list in the front of the red disaster plan. So if you can't get a hold of me, you can't get a hold of Joanne, then it's going to tell you who the next person to call. Keep calling until you get somebody.
Yes.
Is there something, because over the weekend, we thought you guys just all turned off the heat. We didn't think it was a burnt out boiler. Is there something that goes off?
No, I mean, if it's cold like that and people are complaining about it and it's uncomfortable for staff and residents, just reach out to me. Just when in doubt, give me a call. I've got my cell phone on. So, but the events that we really want to be notified of is of utmost importance is any death involving unusual circumstances. I like to be notified of any death, no matter what, but especially if there's unusual circumstances behind it, like if a resident, we find the resident on the floor and they passed away. That's something I'd like to be notified of. Any emergency requiring immediate repair authorization, so if our building is damaged in a storm or something, give me a call. Missing resident is huge, fire is big, and then if the state comes in, obviously, please give me a call. They like to talk to the administrator when they're here, so.
And they're still coming.
And they're still coming, we haven't had ours yet, so. As we talked about, some of the big things that we're gonna be, sorry, did you
Is
say?
that annual or every 2 years?
Our survey, yours is supposedly every 2 years for assisted living.
Yeah.
We're annual on the nursing home side.
Gotcha.
As we talked about at the beginning, some of the things that we're gonna see coming up here are severe storms. And with that, we have the potential for losing electricity and losing our phone services. So in the event that we lose electricity or our phone services, Deb alluded to it in our last presentation, this is the one time that we would like to say, have your cell phones on you. So that way, if we lose phone service, you can call our phone company, call the administrator. If we lose power, call Dan, call Rich, call Arlen, call me. We can come out and help you with that. Call Mel if you're in Sioux Falls. If we lose power, you want to move all of our residents to those red outlets if they require oxygen or any other sort of life-sustaining equipment. What are the red outlets? What do they connect to?
Generator.
They connect to our generator. Very good. You want to gather all your necessary items such as flashlights. We have flashlights in all of our fire extinguishers as well as our red emergency totes. And then each facility, like I said, is backed up by a generator. But remember last summer, all of us that were out here, generator didn't click on because we had 2 lightning strikes right in a row and it tripped our generator. So sometimes that doesn't even work. So we have to be prepared in the event of any emergency. Going over fire is something that we do every single month. We drill it, but it's always good to talk about. So that first person that notices the fire or sees the fire goes and pulls the fire alarm and makes that overhead announcement. So you want to announce overhead fire 3 times, obviously. And then each department has their specific instructions located within that policy, so it's always good to refresh that. Residents are taken to that nearest safe smoke compartment. Does everyone know where our smoke compartments are?
All 4.
Yes, all 4 neighborhoods are smoke compartments. So if a fire is on Plum Creek, bring them past those doors. But just make sure that we're not bringing them past, like if it's in a room and it's smoking, don't bring them past that smoke. Get them out the exit door on the neighborhoods. And then obviously once the fire is clear, give the announcement overhead that the fire is all clear. So moving into our severe weather, this is something that we can talk about with our quizzes here. Does everyone know the difference between a watch and a warning?
The watch is just condition for right. The warning is the tornado's been sighted.
Been sighted in the area. Very good. So there was some confusion with our latest tornado drill last time, which is why we have drills in which that someone, when the watch was announced, some of the staff started just immediately gathering all the residents into the different little hallways, right? So you don't necessarily need to do that. I guess it's not, it's good to be proactive. And if that's going to be the case, it doesn't hurt to make sure